Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. I'm AC Gamer,
I'm Chupacabra.
and we are over at East Commons doing a really cool duo between
East
a
Commons.
rogue and a necromancer. That's why I said East Coronas, right?
You said East Commons.
Oh no, we're not East Commons. That would be a little weird. Although I
I
do know with
think
like
you said that.
live EverQuest, I might have. I mean, I started my videos off and been like, "Hey guys, welcome to EverQuest," and I'm playing Terra Tech. So I have been known to be a little bit lapse in my memory.
It is 10 o'clock here, so who knows what I heard.
But we were kind of discussing a little bit of different games in the general area of whether they have progressed throughout the years the most efficient way they could have, or if they have made mistakes. And one of the games that kind of came up was World of Warcraft. Now, Chupa, you really like that game. Like, you played when the game first came out. I've kind of only went in, I think, maybe after about 4 or 5 years of the game being there, and then I left for a long period of time, and then I went back with you guys. So I have a little bit of understanding of the game, but not anywhere near where you do.
And I haven't played it in a long time, honestly. I'm like I played it with when we all got back together and started those lobbies and stuff like that and tweaked them out. I think we were like what sub 20
We
or
stopped.
whatever it
Yeah, I
was.
think we stopped a little bit low between 20, and then we came back and we're like, let's go to 30s, and we did 30s there for a little bit as well.
But I haven't played the game like followed storylines very much since probably Cataclysm was the last time because Mr. Pandaria kind of turned me off. And then I came back for World of Draenor, and that was playing like Farmville on your phone.
So it was just log in, do your daily chores almost,
It,
and then log
bro, it
out.
really was. It was all about they gambled and they put, in my opinion, okay, they put everything in the garrison. They put all their effort in the garrison, and I didn't want to play a single player game. I wanted to group with people and go do things in dungeons. But I mean, you could do that, but the majority of it was grind the hell out of your garrison and get garrison resources and unlock gear. You could literally have epic gear just by doing garrison stuff. It sucked.
See, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. When I play an MMO, it's because I want to play with other players and not by myself. There's plenty of games out there, tons of them that are single player, amazing games. You got like the Morrowind games that are just, if you want to play an RPG, a single player game, those are the series to play. But if you want to play an MMO, why would I want to do it all by myself? That's
Yeah,
never quite rang with me. But I do know there's people out there that do love to solo, but they still feel kind of part of the community because at certain aspects of time they can interact with people, like in the bazaar or something along those lines. So maybe that's what they were going for.
and yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, WoW has always been a very solo friendly game since it was brought out. Tons of quests. You go and you hit up quests and you grind out certain areas, kill 14 of this, collect 20 of that, turn it in, you get XP, and you keep
Solo,
going.
but solo friendly and exclusively solo, I think, are two different
Two
things.
different things, yes. And even though garrisons were introduced in World of Draenor, right, it didn't stop people from grouping. It just grouping while you're leveling just isn't one of those things that WoW was really known for. You group to go into dungeons to get loot, but garrisons gave you an opportunity to get epic level items without stepping foot ever in a dungeon.
Right. And that's another thing about World of Warcraft that was kind of interesting, kind of reminded me of Borderlands in a lot of ways, is that it was really, really geared towards, like you said, getting that loot from a dungeon. Whereas EverQuest, you don't have that immediate let me do nothing but get gear because it takes you so much longer. There's so much random factor in whether the mob is going to spawn, if that camp is even open for you to take. Whereas with yours, it's all instances, right?
Yeah, when you go into Warcraft, I mean, every dungeon is an instance, and you can run it repeatedly. And you know for a fact that when you go into this dungeon, you're gonna have at least X amount of bosses with a chance of in some of the dungeons a chance of an extra boss that spawns randomly in certain areas, right? So you know for a fact you're gonna have in Dead Mines like 4 or 5 bosses um,
So you're
with
gonna get
chance.
loot regardless. Like you're gonna get something
You're
in there.
gonna get something. Whether or not your group can use it, that's still random number generator, right? He
Right.
he has a chance of dropping one or two of five items.
But you're gonna see the named. Whereas
You're
like on
gonna see,
EverQuest,
yeah,
there's
you could be sitting there hunting
days.
the freaking king in the funky camp in Seb, and you could go an entire 18 hours without seeing him once. And the one time that you do see him, he drops a stupid ass robe.
Right. I've been in there for days and not seen the king spawn. Like there is some really bad luck that people have
Yeah,
had with that.
I you're not going when I go.
Well, I've had some good luck too. Not ZK level of luck. That dude won like 4 fungies in a day. But yeah, like I like the fact that it's a little slower and that it stops you from a certainty. But the people who play World of Warcraft, nothing against them, but it seems like they want I
Go
don't know,
go
like
go.
no, maybe not the go 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 thing, but their schedules maybe lined up where I have 20 minutes and I want to get something done in that 20 minutes. I don't want like a chance or a very 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 low chance of getting something done. I want to be able to feel like I'm making progress.
I think it is more a little more friendly towards people that have a no kidding. Like for me, anybody that's watched y'all's videos knows that Chupa's always AFK. Well, Chupa has a wife and 3 kids, and I love them dearly,
Yeah.
and they will always take precedence. So it's one of those things that I walk away, and that's why I tend to not grind my main and make a lot of alts because it's easy for me just to walk away if I'm soloing with alts. Um,
Which,
WoW offers a play style that is friendly towards my lifestyle.
and that's good though. Like I like the fact that that kind of gears itself towards people who want to be, gamers, but maybe just don't have the time or have too many things going on to be that kind of thing that they want.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps me from WoW is damn dude, it's grindy, 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 grindy.
That's the other
I
thing
mean,
we were
granted,
talking about.
EQ is too. I mean, look at what we're doing. We're killing mobs one at a time.
Right.
If this ain't a grind, I don't know what is.
This
But
is
it's
this is definitely a grind, but
this
there's
is
no.
different.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no direct goal other than levels. Whereas with
Hmm.
yours, you were saying that it's like a daily thing. Like you have to go in there, you do these
Oh
daily
yeah,
quests that are all the exact same as the ones you did yesterday, and
chance of it. Yeah, a chance of it. Like in the current, and granted, I haven't played the top end stuff in WoW now. My high character on the live servers, I think he's on like 106, and I think the level cap is 110. But yeah, once you get to that high, once you peak out at 110, there are daily quests that are grindy as all get out, and there are several different type of quests allowed, I guess you could say, in the new continent area, and it's random.
yeah. Well, it's the same thing as EverQuest too. So we're not trying to pick on World of Warcraft in any way because EverQuest two
No,
did the exact same thing, where you had these daily quests that you did, and you'd have 3, 4, 5 daily quests to get like tokens or some kind of currency. And if you saved up enough, like 30 or 40 of them, you could buy some Uber item or a gem or something that you needed to do a further quest down the road or get a good piece of armor.
I need to interrupt.
Yeah, I saw the evil eye out there. I'm ready
Yep,
for it.
look alive, he's coming.
I'm 100%. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you would have players log in, they would do their daily quest for like an hour, and then they log out. And I would see personally my friends playing the game. I'd never be able to catch them on because again they're only playing for an hour, but they never felt like they were away from the game. So they never built up that kind of Evercrack feel of I need to go in there and play
Oh,
EverQuest. I miss it. I want to do something with it. You didn't want the pet to.
no, he rooted me, and he slowed me. This mother,
Okay, so he is feared. Everything took on these guys, dude.
I can't reach him.
Well, that might be a little bit of a problem
I
when that
can't.
breaks.
All right, I'm just gonna sit down and regenerate then. Oh, you got the pet on you,
Yep.
and now he's loose too. Oh, roots ran off. Yeah, come on.
Oh, he's blasting me too.
Oh, dude, don't die. Please don't die. Come on. Come on.
Ooh, resist it.
Flop it if you can. I'm on him. I'm on him. Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. Just stay there for a minute.
Pet's coming back, I think.
Yeah, he's coming after your pet. As a matter of fact, let me run to your pet.
Let me go ahead and siphon
Yeah.
some life off of this guy.
All right, let me switch to his pet then, because he's about dead. Oh, he's dead.
The pet?
No, the evil eye is dead.
Really? The pet wanted me? I didn't even do anything to him. Well, not since I came back. They should have wiped my aggro.
Should have. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and siphon some life. One more. Nope, didn't get. Why, he's good experience though. Like, I kind of hate to admit it because he's
That was a
tough.
decent chunk. That was about 5%, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
He you're slowed completely. Did you put yourself on
I
walk?
was. I had myself on sneak. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think he
I mean,
took almost a full bar of mana. Like, I'm down to 10% now after that fight, but I think it's worth it because I wasn't really doing anything much before.
oh, shaman incoming.
Maybe he saw the evil eye. Wow, just the fact that we could take those on together. That shows just how much damage we do as a team. I don't know. Could you take that guy on by yourself, you think?
I probably could. Only because of the gear that I have. Honestly, if I were leveling my rogue like legit, say like in Cypher's guild, yeah,
Oh, yeah, the
I'd be dead.
no
Not
accepting any
necessarily in
items.
that guild. Like if I die, that's it. But like Oddlon saying whatever they're called.
Where you can't accept any gear.
If I did it, yeah, if I did it in that aspect, how they truly supposed to do it, yeah, there's no way. I'd still have some crappy ass dagger in my hand.
It's kind of like what my... Well, no, my guy's a little bit more decked out than that. Like, he has some decent weapons from Seb. Nothing as good as yours, and his armor is really pathetic. So he takes hits hard. But the
even
damage...
even if even if I didn't twink out my character, I mean this server is crazy nice. When I first made Athlar, my first character, um, I was running through the Karanas to go from Kinos area to because on this server Kinos is like dead. At least it was at the time. Now it's a little more active. But when I first started playing here, Kinos was flat out dead. There were two people, me and some other dude. And my first mage was an Iridite for whatever stupid reason I decided to do it.
Well, it's not a horrible, right? I mean, you need intel, and erudites have a decent amount of intel.
Fuck man, they're blind though. They can't see for shit.
That's something that's not quite as big of a deal on this server with the monitors that are out as it
True.
was back in the day.
True.
They are working on that, though. We did hear from Talon on one of our streams, which
He's
is,
gonna look into it.
huh?
Yeah. He's gonna look into it. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And I do like that because I would love, absolutely love to see people sitting at the entrance in Kith. I know I'm weird. I know most of you guys are going to hate me for saying this, but it was a unique experience to see people sitting there waiting for the sun to come up. And the fact that they would, ask questions, share buffs. It was, you could follow each other in for safety reasons, or if you just didn't know the zone very well, it was a nice little, like, oh, okay, I'm going to follow these guys through as much as I possibly could. Sometimes you lose them because they're so much
Yeah.
faster than you, but like there was still a little bit more knowledge gained because of those few extra minutes. That's all it took. It didn't take very long. You weren't sitting there for 20, 30 minutes. Just a few extra minutes to slow it down and bring the community just a tad bit closer.
I mean, because I have an Iridite now, and he's my enchanter. And when I run with him at nighttime, no issues, no problems whatsoever.
Right.
On live, you can't see 5 feet in front of yourself.
But it made those items too that gave you, InfoVision and all those other ones that
Hmm.
were out there. It made them actually usable. Like a lot of the time, the one that drops over in Seb, not Seb, Soul B or not Soul B, Soul A, if I can get the name of the zone right. There's a ring that drops over there that you have to wear, and it gives you that night vision. Nobody ever wants it. It's so like people just sell it to a vendor. But on live, when that was a thing, people would buy that ring. It wouldn't like break the bank worth money, but it was definitely useful in a lot of classes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just the other day, just the other day, it was a couple weeks ago actually. Um, Nano, myself, and Cypher, we all three made characters over in Kinos area. Nano and I made human monks. Cypher made a half elf, something.
Humans are blind too.
Bro, I mean, we could still see decent. Okay, it wasn't like back on live, but when that dude picked up a beetle eye, a fire beetle
Oh
eye,
yeah, right.
oh man, it's like somebody just lit up a big old lantern or something.
I actually remember buying those little lanterns from the NPCs
Yeah,
for I think it was like a gold and a half, something very little, but you would run around with it just so you could have that glow, that luminosity around you. But the cool thing about it is when the zone was super dark, if somebody else had that luminos kind of area effect, you could see them way out in the distance, even though you couldn't see between you, almost like
Yep.
a dark ocean, but you could see them. I'm only at
Evil
forty
Eye.
percent. We could try it. I'm gonna let you do
No,
most of the tanking.
we'll be good. We'll be good.
I'll let you do most of the tanking. I'll fear the pet, I guess. Why did you just kill it?
Infectious sport. No, no.
It's dead.
What?
What did you do to kill that? Was that somebody else's maybe?
I don't know. We got party experience for it though, and I
Yeah.
backstabbed it for 120.
Wow. Holy crap, dude. What in the world just happened with that?
Maybe he's just a small con. I don't know. That's weird.
I think I'm gonna let you take those guys out from now on.
That's weird. That was totally unexpected. Oh
Oh,
yeah, that he had crap, but he had nothing on him.
they never do. These guys are. Actually, let me check the other one just to make sure.
That guy's got to have something on him. He's still there, so he's got something on him.
He has an evil eye stock, so I don't know if that's used in anything.
I have no clue.
These other guys have. Can I trade this to my pet? Let me look at it. It's no trade, so no. I'm not gonna pick that up. I thought maybe at the very least I could give that to my pet. I still can't believe that's kind of
That was
crazy.
unexpected.
Yeah, I was expecting this big long fight and just one shot it.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. I've already gained 40% experience at level 18, so we are moving along really well. This zone I already knew was pretty good experience just from the short amount of killing that I have done over by the bridge, but I had no idea it could be this epic with just a duo.
I think it. I don't think it's the Zem, right? It's not the zone experience modifier. I think it's just the sheer number of mobs that are available.
Well, the zone experience is not bad either because I've been to other places with my shadow, not my shadow, my Necro, like
Hmm.
Oasis, and the experience I was gaining in that zone was not nearly as good as the experience I was gaining in here. Take into account the level difference, obviously, but
I think Oasis too. The mobs. I think the mobs are harder. I think they are.
I think they hit
that's just-
harder.
yeah, they
But
hit harder and they tend to have a bit more hit points.
but for me, I mean the hit harder thing really not that big of a deal because I can fear them. The
Yeah,
hit
you don't fear
points.
kites.
Hit point thing, I don't think it's that big of a difference because I saw myself back then casting about 1.5 to 2 dots. And by 1.5, I mean the level of the dot that I'm using sometimes doesn't do as much damage, and I would still take those guys out. And I'm kind of doing the same thing over here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any parses obviously to do all the comparing and stuff like that. It just seems like I have. I mean, granted, there's not groups here like there is an Oasis. Oasis,
Yeah.
you're fighting for mobs. That's kind of
Sometimes,
the sucky part.
sometimes this
It
is
depends on the time frame you're in, yeah, and where you're at. If you're doing the highway, there's tons of orcs in the highway. It's just a matter of finding somewhere safe to pull them to.
only time there's not a lot of orcs on the highway is if somebody's using their bard over there. But other than that, like you just cannot kill those things fast enough.
Oh, 116 backstab, I love it.
Wow. Those weapons. And we're thinking about going to Dragon Necropolis tomorrow, which, for the next couple of videos, you guys will be able to see it if we actually happen to go over there. I'm hoping we do because the weapons that Chupa is using right now are from that zone. And there's some even better weapons that drop over there.
Yeah, this is a cheap one. The big long spear that I have, the lance, it's the cheap version.
When he says cheap, it's still very costly. It's just cheaper compared to the really expensive one that drops over there.
Yeah, it's about 3 to 4K for the one that I have, but it's compared to the other ones, the ratio is outrageous for the other ones.
It is a tougher zone. Like the very first time I went into that zone, I went into it with the Blackheart Pirates, the guild that I'm in actually on this tune, and we did a raid. Remember taking out the rats, and people were saying that these rats are hard for a raid force to do. We went in there with I think it was Nonal, Cypher, Alar, and myself, and we were able to take those rats on. Of course, it was a lot slower. We had to be a lot more cautious, but it was doable. So I think that is why they are so expensive. Is just because it's not doable for a lot of people.
It depends on the group makeup. Depends on where you're fighting them because there are certain area. Oh man, I lost my
The spirit.
dark elf illusion.
Oh, okay.
I do some barrel rolls though.
We were pulling them out just off to if you're coming out of that long ramp, you take a left back towards the
Mhm.
entrance. That's where Nana was pulling him out to us. And of course, as a bard, he can law mobs and he can kind of do his thing out there.
Well, plus Nano's just a badass on his bard.
Yeah, he is, dude. Like, it's beautiful to see a character played well by somebody who enjoys it. And he, if I've ever seen anybody encompass a character, he is definitely a bard at heart. Like, that is his thing,
He loves his bard.
and he's good at it. Like, I wish I could say
Yeah.
I was good at my cleric. I think I probably would be if I wasn't doing the commentary. That's where
Yeah,
I go back to
if
it.
you weren't doing videos and you could concentrate, you'd be good to go. But I mean, you start thinking about different things and splitting your attention.
And
Something's to give.
yeah, you can't really
And
do that with any tune out there. Shadow Knights, I think, has a little bit more leeway unless you're splitting a room, because once you get things split and everything's comfortable, it's just doing your same pattern again and again and again and again.
I think honestly any tank as well, a little easier.
Yeah, Warrior though, you have to be prepared to snag the mob immediately, and sometimes you don't know when it's coming in, so you got to kind of be on the
Yeah,
ball for that. But yeah, it definitely is not as difficult as some of the other tunes out there.
but seeing a mob come in is a lot easier than paying attention to 5 health bars plus yours.
Mm,
I think so.
sometimes it's easier just to look at the health bars. I just forget sometimes to do it because I get distracted. You guys are so good, and sometimes require so little healing that I'll go like half an hour without healing anybody, and then all of a sudden somebody's life will drop really fast, and I'm not looking up there anymore because like
We'll have to talk to Nato about how that works out for his cleric.
he's been going through some of the growing pains of playing a cleric. It's kind
Poor
of
Shariki.
it's kind of cool to see that he's having the same issues that most of us have. That it's not just somebody who's playing the tune and being like, oh, you're just not very good at it. Now it's like as you level up, you go through these points where your tune is just not quite good enough to do what you should be doing yet, and you're gonna get there. You're gonna get that better heal, but until you do, your heal that you're using right now is just so inefficient. You're gonna run out of mana, and you're gonna run out of mana all the time.
He's just funny about it though. He when we were in the Soul A in the bar, he'd be like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And I was like, "He just got his face smashed in. Oh, over the last 2 minutes. Your life went down so fast." I'm like, "Oh my, come on, dude, pay attention."
I used to feel really bad when an enchanter died in a matter of seconds. Somewhere
Hey,
along the
bro,
way, I just like you knew
it's
it's gonna
nature of the beast.
happen. I
Yeah,
knew
it's
it was
nature
gonna
of the beast.
happen, and there's not a thing either one of us could have done to save the other person. So,
That's when you asked, "Did you have rune on?" No, your fault.
well, you don't even have to, because most of the time the enchanter's like, yeah, I knew it was coming. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like, he resisted me twice, and I'm like, yeah, well, I healed you once, which is pretty much the best scenario for a cleric to be able to get that one heal off on you. Beyond that, there's not much more.
that honestly is for enchanters, anyways. Like everybody wants to play an enchanter because enchanters are crazy overpowered, just like shaman. So there's a ton of enchanters and shaman on the server. But if you're not paying attention to what you're doing and or loading up your spells correctly, you need a stun. You really do. It's a quick cast.
And
It
those
holds
runes,
it. Yeah, the runes. It'd be nice to have the rune on, but if you don't, the stuns, you gotta have stuns up, and you gotta use them wise. I mean, you're not using a stun to help your tank hold aggro. That ain't gonna happen. You gotta get your face smashed in. You're using stun
save your life.
for your charm pet that just broke.
That's like I love grouping with Nivers because he uses his runes all the time. Super expensive, a Peridot a piece. I cannot believe he can afford that, and he'll go through like 5 or 6 runes in a fight sometimes, and that's
Yeah,
just nuts the amount of money that he has to be spending.
but that's how he keeps himself alive,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
never
how he's
dies.
able to farm all the crazy areas that he goes by himself. That's how he can afford it because he's making bank. That dude makes tons of plat.
But you got to go where
It
the money
makes
is
me
to be able to afford that. But it's cool to be able to see somebody do that because, like the situations that he's come up with have been hard earned, where he went into those areas not knowing if he could do what he thought he could, and then making mistakes, trying it again, trying to get a lot of people on this game, that are lower level anyways. As you get higher level, you tend to kind of train this out of you, but at lower level, if you die, people will get kind of upset to the point where they leave. And once one person leaves, another person will leave, and the group will break up. Higher levels, that tends not to happen as much because people realize, okay, one person left, but I still want to get some experience. And if we can get another person in
Yeah.
fast enough, we can recoup this. We can keep this group going.
And speaking about like Nibers, he's always challenging himself trying to find the next camp, right? And I have these three friends of mine that they do the same thing. The three of them hold down Plate House, just three.
Wow. So you got to, let me guess, a shaman in there, hopefully.
Yep,
You got
yep.
to have some sort of a tank. I'm going to guess with like a Shadow Knight, maybe.
Nope,
No, going with
no
a
tank,
warrior?
no
No
tank,
tank? Wow. Okay, so Bard?
nope.
Um,
It's a shaman, an enchanter, and a druid.
Holy crap. Really? So the Enchanter is definitely creating a pet of some sort.
Enchanter and druid are both charming the wolves in the zone,
So those are their tanks and their DPS.
and yeah, crazy DPS. Like these tanks. A spirit stalker. What is that? Let's go find out. Um, the wolves out DPS
Everything.
rogues. Yeah, they
Yeah.
out DPS rogues
There's pretty much
easily.
nothing on the server those things don't out DPS. But you got to
Man,
remember when those things break, that DPS is going in your face.
yeah, you got to be on it. So what they do is man, this dude looks cool. You can see through him.
Yeah. Well, he is a spirit.
Man, I hope he's not a quest NPC. I think I'm about to lose some faction somewhere. Maybe.
Well, we can
Nope, we're good.
check.
No, everything's good. No faction loss.
No, I was gonna say check him to see what he dropped. Oh, he didn't drop anything.
Yeah. But yeah, what they do is they slow, not slow. They snare the wolves. When they break, they re-snare them before they recharm them.
And they're sitting on like the other side of the room, so they have that space.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. And then the shaman, of course, he's doing his shamanistic stuff. He's slowing, he's rooting, he's healing the pets whenever they need it, if they need it.
Torpor.
So, torpor shaman, yep.
Yeah, this seems to be like the only like. There's no other way that scenario works without Torpor, because those pets they got a crap ton of hit points, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's a good combo.
But
You
it
can fight
works,
all those
man.
people,
I
yeah.
actually went with him one time on Athlar, and I gained. Matter of fact, I was 57. I gained like 38% experience in 2 sessions.
Wow. At that level, that's a
So
lot of experience.
yeah, dude, I'm a little upset they don't do it no more. But
They probably don't need it.
life happened. Nah, one dude rolled out. He stopped playing. He was getting too much into EQ. Like
Let
he was
things
min
slip.
maxing like crazy. He was min maxing like crazy. So it was all or none for him, and he couldn't have that in his life. So
See, I don't really let it get to me like that anymore. Like I did when I was younger. I definitely understand that for people who try to do that. You know, you want to be the best at whatever you're playing. But at some point, you kind of have to let it slide and be like, okay, I'm not going to be the best. Because if you try to do that, it's going to take over your life. This game can really
yeah,
take some time.
and that's what was going on, man. I mean, he was if family left or whatever, this dude was playing the entire time they were gone. And he's like, "This isn't healthy." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you need to slow down." And so he stopped for a little bit, and then he came back like, "Hey, dude, I think I'm gonna leave." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool."
Yeah, it sucks though because you lose a friend. But some of you guys have left comments saying that you guys don't have time in your day or your work schedules to be able to play EverQuest, and you guys need to be aware of the opposite side of that, where there are the weekend warriors, the guys who play once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, and you can be surprised about how much enjoyment you can get from spending just a few hours here and there. That's something that we did early on. If you guys watch my videos as we leveled with my cleric, you will hear that most of the time we were only playing like once a week on like the Saturdays, and we'll spend like 4 hours playing with each other. If you can get a good group of people where your schedules line up, you can get a lot done where you don't waste a lot of time looking for the groups because you already have one to form. And that 4 hours is spent all inside someplace where you guys are laughing and joking it up and having your epic journeys of dying and corpse runs and the crazy wackiness that you get up to in this game. But you don't
Yeah,
have to do
definitely,
that long term. Like you don't have to be playing 12 hours a day.
definitely. When I joined you guys first, and this is all obviously before Thum started doing his thing as far as work and everything. You guys played like twice a week on
Yeah.
EQ. And yeah, 3-4 hours on one day, and then the other day was as long as we could, kind of thing. But it ended up still being only about 5 hours max, whatever the case was. It was I mean, still is a ton of fun, but even then, those days that you look forward to.
Yeah, and we leveled. We did get a level every once in a while. So like every
Oh
week
yeah,
we'd get like one level, maybe two, maybe one and a half, depending on what how high we were up at that point. But we weren't in a rush. We weren't like, we got to get 60. I know some of you guys have sent me messages telling me that you guys came back to the game because of the videos. And when I do a who all on you, you guys are level 60. I don't even have a level 62 yet. Like the closest I got is level 59 on my main. So, definitely bravo because you guys have gotten to that point. But you don't have to do that super hardcore is what I'm trying to get across for those of you out there who might be thinking like, oh, maybe I should give it a shot. I think you should. I think you should try it out. Just, like
slow and
Shiva's
steady.
friends. Yeah, you just make sure moderation is the key for this game or any other game out there.
I got another friend. He takes time off every so often. He'll come back, play. I mean, because he's another guy that plays hardcore. He'll play hard for 2 months and then take a break for 3 months and then come back.
I could see that, but you burn yourself out, and that's why you're probably taking that break, unless
No,
you just
he
space it
he
out.
does it. He does it so that way he doesn't. No kidding. I have to play. I have to play. I have to play. He doesn't skip out on the rest of life. He'll play hard for 2 months when he can. Typically, it's during the summertime. He plays really hard during the summertime because he has more of a break.
Right.
And then come like right now, he just this week, as a matter of fact, on Tuesday, I think, said his final goodbyes to everybody in Guild and was like, "I'll see you guys at the end of September."
That's kind of cool that he can schedule it out like that and really stick to that because for me, yeah, I went through long periods where I didn't play this game for many years, and then something along the way, I get that bug where I'm just like, I want to play a challenging game. I want to play something, and then like EverQuest would pop in. I'm like, yeah, like I would love to go back and try EverQuest again for a little bit, and it just kept pulling me in from time to time.
I blame Reptox.
Why?
Flats. I don't know what made me think of it though, but I was surfing YouTube one day and I was like, oh, I wonder if there's some old school EQ videos. I don't know what made me think of it, but I found his videos and it was about Reptox, his monk, and the music at the beginning was catchy, this that, and the other. Like, man, this is really entertaining. So I saved the playlist and I watched it in one sitting. Every single video he had at that point, I watched in one sitting, and I started researching P99, and here we are.
Yeah, there's some really good YouTubers out there. Flats is somebody I'm very much aware of. His monk, that monkey fist or whatever that song was.
Monkey business, monkey
Yeah,
business.
hilarious, dude. He did such a great job with that intro. I did learn that he kind of had to take that song down, and now he's figured out a new one to put up there, and he's gotten it all worked out. But he's done a really good job with his videos. And Super Bits and Bob, you got Dylan75 and Level One Undercon, and so many other ones out there that have done some great stuff. I recently found a YouTuber that does it's Michael Shenanigans.
Mysteries of Everquest.
Yeah, those are fantastic. I don't know why I missed those for so long.
Some of them are trippy.
I love them,
Like,
dude, man. The amount
I
of
started thinking,
editing
I'm
he
like,
uses.
the editing he does is phenomenal. His
Yeah.
last video was pretty good, showing exactly what he does. Not exactly, but
Oh, he did
just
a
a
video on
parody.
like a how-to.
Not a how to. He did a parody type thing about how much time and effort goes into each video.
I imagine a lot.
Yeah, it was just funny. It really was. I mean, it really is a parody of it because he's making fun. He's poking fun of himself.
Yeah, and he always takes on like a subject where he does a lot of research for it. Like he's checking the forums. I saw the one where he did
Exactly.
like the chessboard. He actually went on the live and he checked out a new zone over there to bring in the storyline of where they went with it down the road. And yeah, this some really good footage. But some of these people out there, they bring in their certain skills, and then you have videos like mine where I just ramble on and make it look all you know. I don't know why you guys watch me that much, but I'm glad you guys are enjoying the videos at the very
Making it
least.
worse, you're bringing guests on now, and we're just gonna ruin it for you.
I think the guests bring something into it. Yeah, everybody has their own unique opinion, and when I go off on a certain subject, I usually just state my opinion. I try to look at it from everybody's point of view. But when I have guests on, I get to hear it straight from them, and it really brings in like this unique aspect because it's no longer just me saying like this is the way it should be. Yeah, some of our guests have been like, no, you're wrong on that one. Like I really like that the solo aspect, and I like it. I like it that they challenge it.
You're wrong.
Like, I've been wrong many times in my life, and I will continue to be wrong many, many more times in my life. I try not to, but it's something that's gonna happen.
Price is wrong, Bob.
That's a good movie. Happy Gilmore, man. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last movie I saw him in was the animated short or animated movie of like Christmas time where he's playing like a Grinch.
Ah, last one I saw with him were oh, what's it called? Something about him. Chris Rock is in it. David Spade.
Oh, Grown Ups.
Grown Ups. There you go.
They made two of those actually. I didn't see the second one.
Yeah,
I don't think.
yeah. I saw parts of the second one. I don't think I saw the whole thing.
He has a gang of or a group of people that he does a lot of those movies with. Like David Spade is in there now, and like you
Hmm.
said, Chris Rock, and he has that other guy.
The dude from I can't remember his name, but he did Deuce Bigelow and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, you
Um,
get that guy. I was thinking of the guy that did the movie with Will Smith, where he was like letting he's teaching guys how to hook up with like really hot women that weren't in their league.
oh, Hitch.
Hitch, yeah, he was the other guy, the main dude from that one.
Oh,
The one
I
who
can't think
got
of what you're talking about.
Electric Cole, I think is her name. He was dating her, and he was the bad dancer. He's the bigger dude.
Oh, is that you talking about
I
er,
have absolutely no idea what his name is, so I can't even like remotely tell you. But he's a great actor. I love him in his movies.
I can't think of the dude's name.
But you know who I'm talking about, right? Like
I
he's the
gotta look
bigger
it up
guy.
now.
He's the bigger guy. But it suits him. It's kind of like Chris Farley. Like some actors with the weight on them just tend to like they look perfect the way they are. And if they
Kevin
lost weight,
James.
Kevin James, that's probably it. I think that
There
sounds
you go. Yeah, Kevin
Kevin.
James.
Kevin sounds right. I don't know about the James part though.
Yeah, it's Kevin James. He's King of Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kevin James.
Yeah. So he's in a lot of the movies now too. They kind of incorporated him in there, and it's just cool to see like a group of comedians that can play off of each other and don't compete too much with one another.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure like behind the scenes they could be like at each other's throats, like who knows what's going on. But in the movie, they seem to be very very nice to one another.
Supposedly with those guys in that movie too, with Grown Ups, they were doing a lot of stuff ad lib, just going with the flow as well.
You think they would like with that kind of talent of comedians? Like why wouldn't you just be able to like play off one another and just see what kind of lands and what doesn't?
Yeah, and they did, and a lot of it made the actual footage. A lot of it made it to the theaters, to the final product and stuff like that too. So
I'm glad they're having fun with it. A lot of those comedians you hear, they're kind of depressed because they're always trying to make other people laugh. Nobody's really making them laugh. So when they do a movie like that where they can play off of one another and they're all cracking each other up, like that's it's good for them and it's good for us. I think in the long run.
I think so. Yeah, it's entertaining.
I've always thought making somebody laugh was something that was a unique skill that I don't really possess myself, but definitely envy those that can because it's pretty amazing. Bring happiness to others. But guys,
That it is.
guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. I definitely want to thank all you guys for watching. As always, we are over in East Karanas, and I think we're doing fairly well with the duo we got. I've already gotten 3 bubbles into level 18, which is more experience. I've actually gotten an entire level and an extra bubble, and that was with 1 death due to. What do you think? We just got a little too
Mistakes were made.
right. A little bit too zealous. We went out in the middle of the zone, and I feared some mobs that I probably shouldn't have feared, and the feigned death failed, and like so many other things went wrong. But we learned our lesson. We're over here on the side, and I'm letting Chupa pretty much do all the work. He's not only pulling, but he's tanking and doing 90% of the DPS. I know for sure. My pet's not doing that much, and my dots are, yeah, very, very little damage. I'm only using leech, and it does 8 damage a tick, and I usually get about 3 ticks in, so yeah, not pulling my weight here, but still nice and relaxing. We do got an evil eye every so often that we pull in that is very challenging, except for that last one, which like
I
either you're
don't know what
getting
happened
like
with that guy.
I think you're just super uber, and you're just killing these things in one shot now, just to make me look
I,
bad.
I think Salak was back there and just Death touched it for me.
Right? You got like some
Or
GM
Landris.
help over here. He's watching, just kind of peeping on us. I wonder how often they do that. Not like on us, but like just on regular players because they can be invis. I wonder how they just sit down and see what people were doing.
They, they probably do. Who knows? I mean, Sirkin always pops up in the weirdest places.
Yeah, well, I think they have to by nature is just to check on people to make sure they're not two boxing or whatever else and playing nice. But the zones are very large and they can run so fast, guys. It's
And
crazy.
they can be invis from everybody. So
Never know.
keystrokes, man, key commands.
But as always, guys, thanks again for watching. I'm AC.
I'm Chupacabra.
Till next time.
Subscribe.
Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.